Yo guys, welcome back to a long-awaited league racing video on the channel. I have been away for a month, I know. I missed an entire second season of UFRL and left on a cliffhanger, but we're going to go over it now and hopefully you keep it along. In the next round out, after Australia, in Japan, we managed to get P3, well Hazer won, not great result. But the next time out, in Miami, we managed to get the win off a safety car and take the fastest lap, which was a great set of points. But in the next round in Bahrain, we got P5, big stinker. And the next time out in Vegas, I got disqualified for a bug, and that just gave us no points. Not ideal. But then in the second last round in Canada, we did win, and then the next round, no, this is not the next round, but we now need to win the next race in the finale, and this is what happened in the finale.
Oh yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
I go into box, sick, and my teammate, who is a lap down and left the game,
oh my
holds us up way too much.
Seriously.
And we're just sat here doing nothing, and we've got significantly undercut by the championship rivals, and yeah, it was done at this point. In the next lap rounds, we just fully rage quit, and that is the finale. And Hazer did end up winning the championship, and I think in the end we ended up getting 4th, which is horrible, but we just had a really bad season. And now to start off this season, I didn't have a PlayStation for a month because it just broke. So now Vegas is actually round 3 of UFRL,
I got like the slightest
and
damage, bro.
it is, and we're two rounds in,
I don't know if
and
it's gonna be
I'm on no points, and now we have Matthias in this league, who is an ex-PSGL PlayStation F2 driver, and he's bailed out of PSGL because he was getting his ass beat, and now he's come down to UFRL to gain his confidence back. Not sure why he's done that. I think it's a bit questionable. Should have just probably stayed in PSGL, but whatever. It's his choice, right? I'm not. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're now on to my final qualifying run. You can see we are P3 and P4. My teammate Bad Boy is the guy in the VC, and I did pick up very slight wing damage on my outlap. God knows how that happened. I just was not paying attention for that small amount of time. But this is the final lap. We have some time to gain. Up into turn 1, we lock up a bit and already a 10th down. But we do manage to gain some of that back on the exit through turns 2 and 3, the long right-hander. We are about 600ths down, which is expected because we did go incredibly deep at turn 1. But we are gaining a lot of time in the straight. I'm not too sure why. But then we managed to get turn 5 done. Not as well as it looked. We did lose a 10th on that turn, but we managed to cut that corner really nicely. We instantly gained 2 tenths, and we are picking up a decent lap just off that turn. I think we need about 3 tenths to take pole position, but then he goes and puts in a 30.3, and I'm not exactly sure what time I'm on now, but I think at this point I realized that only P2 was really doable. And on the exit onto the Las Vegas strip, we actually lose a lot of time. This lap was very inconsistent, and there was so much more time in it. But now we just need to try and nail the final chicane. But I did nail that on the last lap, so it will be really difficult to stay positive in this. And I know that I nailed very random parts of the last lap. We chuck it in, we hit the curve, we have a little moment, and then we have a big moment. And we lose about half a tenth with a little slide through turn 15 and 16, and then we run out of deployment, and we just barely improve, and it isn't enough to even nick P2 in the end. And my teammate is getting annoyed because I don't know if he got impeded or what, but he's not happy about something, and I'm busy commentating, so I'm not really listening to what's going on because I'll end up fumbling my words eventually. But P3 and P4 for Williams is not too bad. We are the only team in the top 8 that has 2 drivers in it. And now we're going to start the race. I'm going to ready up first because I just want to get going. We're going to start in the mediums because there's going to be a lot of safety cars today. At least you'd think, because there usually is at Vegas, but it is 5 red lights. And we are back underway for some league racing. in late 2024. We get a decent start, and we're going to try and instantly get past Hayes. We're going to go to the outside, get the power down, and we just have so much more grip for no apparent reason. But then we do run a little bit deep. You can see Matthias is building a little bit of a gap, but we're now going to get all the battery burnt. There's a swarm of cars behind us, and Silky Stevens is out of the session. So is Angry Badger. And there is the first safety car, as I said, not even 30 seconds ago. But you can hear me say, I'm needing Bad Boy to keep the delta, because last season in Vegas, he sped under the safety car. No, I sped on. No, yeah, that's what it is. I sped under the safety car, and that's what ruined my race, and then led to that disqualification. But whatever, this is very difficult to understand because you didn't see it, and I didn't have the time to go and upload all those videos. But we're back now, and it should be somewhat consistent from now on. And we need to get some major points back in this championship because we're 2 rounds behind. But you can see on this safety car restart, Matthias is going so slow and so late. I'm trying to catch him, I'm trying to jump with him, but then he just doesn't go, and he goes and he does catch me out a little bit. But that's not, I wouldn't say that's a fault of my own, I'd just say that's just it's a very good restart. He's done it well. And then we're just needing to stay within DRS of this guy, because he is quick. If you don't have any DRS assistance, he will drop you in a heartbeat. So we are going to be using a lot. We're going to be pushing and focusing as hard as I can to stay within the train, and hopefully myself and Bad Boy can pick up a cheeky little 1-2 for Williams. Because as of right now, this is the first race that I've been in, but Bad Boy has been doing, it's a bit questionable in his first 2 races, but I'm not gonna put that on him. It was all right, and then he just got really bad luck. But right now we are looking very nice. P2 and P4. This is really our first proper lap of racing, because lap 1 was done after 4 turns. But you can see we have managed to stick within about 7/10, but he is getting away a little bit. So we are going to use quite a lot of our battery. But we also want to have battery later to overtake him when we've got the DRS, because we don't want to let him go. Like, I'm going to stress this a lot. We do not want to let this guy leave, because it will not end well for us. About 7.5 tenths the gap, up on 8 tenths. He's got really low wings just off how much he's gained through the straight, but then he has a little bit of a moment into turns 14, and we do manage to close the gap back up a bit more comfortably, and we will definitely be getting DRS on the next lap, as the detection point is right out the end of turn 1. Matthias obviously setting the fastest lap. We haven't had a racing lap yet, and behind us Hazer isn't really showing as much pace as I thought he would. We have set a fastest first sector. We are only on lap 5. Matthias has a massive moment going into turn 12, and we are instantly getting a run on him. We're going to try and use as little ERS as we can because we don't have much left. There's a yellow flag behind us. Something's happened. I think an RB has went straight on at turn 12, but ignoring that, we have moved to the inside and just flown by Matthias, because this straight is way too long and the DRS is way too powerful on this game. Combine it with a little tap of the ERS and you will absolutely fly by. But we have made that move. Moving on 2 laps. Nothing has been done apart from my teammate Bad Boy moving up into P3. Williams currently sat P1 and P3 at the minute. Absolutely huge. But everyone is on the medium tyres right now. Matthias is going to get past us on this straight. It's just, look at them. Absolutely flying. Bad Boy's also coming as well. It's looking like he's going to make a move. There's a little bit of contact. He's 3 wide for a second. He's moved from P3 up to P1. Matthias moves ahead and then he backs out of it, because you don't want to be going side by side through this chicane section. It is way too difficult and it's way too sketchy. Most of the time that will just end up in a crash. But right now, we did just lose 2 positions. But that is fully expected, because that is the nature of the Las Vegas strip and the straight, especially on the F1 games. I know it's really long in real life and it is powerful, but in the games it is absolutely insane. For a second on the last lap, Hazer did drop out the 1 second of us, but he has managed to get back in. We are gaining a lot on Matthias, and we're going to send up the inside, but then we back out, because like I said the last lap, you don't want to be going side by side through there. So you sensibly leave it. We're not trying to end my race on lap 8. And you can see we've got no battery. So realistically, we didn't really want to overtake. we do want 2 cars in front of us so we can put the battery into none through the middle sector and even through turns 1, because no one's going to be going fast through the middle sector. It is the perfect time to charge up battery. On to lap 9, later in the lap. Up ahead, Matthias has made the move on Bad Boy for the lead. He is still on the inside line though, so Bad Boy was fighting it a little bit, and now he's right on the back of him, and he is looking like he's going to go for a move. He does pull to the inside, but I think he does just not have the straight line speed. Matthias loves a low wing setup, which is, I mean, it's fine, but I'm not a fan of them. It's just a bit annoying to race against, especially in the fight for the win, because you are going to be needing to be behind him and then make the overtake on the final lap. And if he's got the straight line speed and he's in front, then it is going to be a bit more difficult to pull off the move. But that's too
Fuck's sake, man.
that is too far in the future. And my teammate has just spun
Fuck's sake.
absolutely
Didn't even put the
unprompted.
pedal on either.
And he sat complaining, and I'm really trying to stay in DRS right now. I'm not having it. I'm not listening to what you're saying, but I need to use my very little ERS to stay within the DRS of Matthias. And he did pick up a little bit of wing damage from that, but he just spun completely unprompted. I'm trying to keep it composed right now, but it was really funny to look back on. But it's not funny now because you can see Matthias is our second out of us, and we've got 10% battery to use. So thanks, Bad Boy. He's just completely threw the race away. But we can't complain at him now because I need to lock in and then try and get something out of this race now. Because yeah, we're out the second now. He's had to box. Then he goes and gets to 10 seconds. Then he goes and gets to 10 seconds. Oh, it's really funny to look back on, because it was going so well. P2 and 3, and then he goes and spins, gets damage, and then gets a 10-second penalty in the space of like a minute. Oh, it's too funny. But either way, back onto the race. Matthias, 1.6 seconds ahead, and it is over. At least for the fight for the win, it's looking pretty dire. Because he is 2 seconds up the road. His fast wings are going to be faster than me, with no DRS, obviously. But he's gained a second on us in the last lap alone, which is fair enough. He is really quick, but I'd rather not have had that happen. You know, having the DRS would have made this race so much easier. But going into the pits now, we are just going to follow him in, and Matthias gets a 10-second penalty. We make sure we don't, and Matthias has picked up a 10-second penalty that he'll have till the end of the race, it saved me a little bit, because now I really need to stay within the 10 seconds. You can see he gained 2 seconds on me in 2 laps, and there is 13 laps left. So if you do the maths, he will gain the 10 seconds on us, at least by the end of the race. And you can see ahead of us, we come out just behind Hazer, and he undercut us about 3 laps ago, and we're in the DRS of him. So we have the much fresher tyres than him. So hopefully we can actually work together with Hazer and then keep DRS swapping on the strip. And we should hopefully stay within the DRS, not in the DRS, within the 10 seconds of Matthias, because he's gone. Up ahead, Hazer runs really deep, nearly runs into the wall. It's not the first time he's going to do that this race. But we are going to gain a lot. We're on only 10%, which is not good. I am very conscious of the fact that I've got no power, but we do have the DRS, which is like, I don't know how much extra speed it is, but it's too much, because we've just flown by him with like the 10% of ERS used on that, and we just fly by way too easily. But we just need to keep doing that. We just need to keep working together and then DRS swapping, and that will gain us time to Matthias. It did on the last lap, but you can see we have run into quite a bit of traffic, and Matthias is ahead of it. He cleared it very early in the lap, but now Hayes has got past me. I couldn't defend it. I did want to, because I don't want him to be in front of us for the back markers. We really needed him to be behind, but he's picked a great time to get in front and stay in front, because he's going to get the DRS of Viva and everyone else. Matthias is ahead of these 3 cars. You can see him in turn 1. Hayes is instantly going for a move on Viva. Kingies went really deep. We're going to go for the switchback, but then we have to back out because it is 3 wide. It's about to be 4. and we can't afford that to happen. We're going to try and get more power than Viva, because he's got wing damage and old hard tyres. He has not boxed yet, or if he did, he boxed on the first lap, which doesn't matter. It's still, he's going to have to box again. And Hazer has made the move on Kingy, but we're not doing too badly here. Going to try and go for the move up into turn 7, but he's just covering it off. He is trying to defend, which is a bit annoying, but I'm not going to let it like affect me in the moment, because it's still not exactly horrible. You can see he's really slow. We're right up his ass, and up his gearbox, I should say, out of the exits of the turns, and we're just going to go around the outside through turns 10 and then the inside for turn 11. Going to stay to the inside, brake, and then we are going to make the move. Done. Finally, but we're still on no ERS. Hazer is up ahead, about to make a move on Mercs, so he will now have fully cleared all the back markers by the end of the straight, and I'm on 0%, and King Yoji's threatening to attack again, but luckily we get the DRS right at the last moment on Mercs, and we are able to keep that position. But now we are going to have to try and get ahead of Mercs as quick as possible. We actually couldn't for an entire lap. Actually, no, we couldn't. I'm an idiot. We couldn't for like 3 corners. I just cut ahead a little bit, and then we managed to just get a switch back, because we've got the extra grip. Mercs is going to have to box again, and we have finally made the move. But you can see we are just under a second away from Hazer, and we do really need to stay within that DRS, so we are going to be pushing really hard. But we have gained to about 7/10 now, so we should be all right through the middle sector, and then we should be picking up DRS completely fine, which we do right now. And we are going to look to make a move on Hayes. We're going to use some of our still very minimal ERS just to get by. Ideally, I would sit behind him. We've gone really deep, actually, but ideally I would sit behind him and then recharge my ERS. But we do really need to stay within the 10 seconds of Matthias. You can see the gap is now 4.3 seconds with 8 laps left. Hayes has flown by us again, but this is now our chance to charge, which we did. We are now up to 60% battery. Again, just flying past Hazer. The gap is just under 5 seconds now. It's about 4.8. And we're just going to go through this for a while. It's just switch. Me and Hazer are just working together now. We lost like a second in the last lap alone, even when we're DRS swapping, which is absolutely obscene, which is why Bad Boy spinning was such an issue, because we really needed his DRS to have any fight in this race. But 6 laps left, 6.5 seconds is the gap. Onto lap 20 with 5 laps left. Roughly the same gap. His tyres aren't working as well for him, and then Hazer goes incredibly deep, nearly runs into the wall, which forces us to make an overtake before the DRS line, which means he's just going to get back the position on this straight, or he should, because he does have the DRS advantage. But he actually didn't, and we cut to the next lap, where he is finally going to make the move. We're on about 50% battery, and we are going to need to keep as much of that as possible, because the gap's 7.5 seconds. All he needs to do is gain about 2 seconds on us now.
Kind of need the safety car next
until in the last 3 laps, he needs to gain 2 seconds.
In the next 2 laps.
Which is entirely possible, because he's just been dropping a second on our heads every lap. But this is a crucial move by me, because I'm in a very bad position. Because if I stay ahead of Hazer, he'll just get the DRS and then overtake me on the final lap, and we'll stay in the DRS of Matthias, and then I'll finish second. But if I try and play DRS games with Hazer, we're going to lose to Matthias. We're going to be out the 10 seconds. He's going to win. And then even if I overtake Hazer again, I'm going to finish P2. And I noticed this at this point. And there's not much I can do. I just need to go flat to the floor, because I'd rather Matthias didn't get the win, because he is currently one of the championship leaders. So I'd rather Hazer got the points over Matthias. So all we need to do is in the next lap, we need to not lose 6/10. And we should be all right to finish P2 with Hazer winning. And even though he won the championship last season, he hasn't had a great first 2 races. So it's in my best interest to stay within the 10 seconds of Matthias and not play any stupid games with Hazer. And you never know. Maybe on the last straight, we'll somehow keep it. But we have a massive snap out of turn 1, so any chance of building a decent gap is pretty much gone. But still, only 5/10 to Matthias. And I'm aware this second stint has mainly been watching the times of Matthias and seeing how close we are. But you can blame Bad Boy for that. He threw our races. But if you look at him, he's got 13 seconds now. He managed to pick up some more warnings, which is, you know, good for him. But he's in P5, so he has got incredible pace. If he didn't, even with his wing damage, he didn't fix his wing when he boxed, so he's still got the pace to finish P4 on this final lap without the penalties, which will drop him down a little bit. But enough of that. This is where it matters. We have still got a 5/10 buffer to Matthias. We're going to burn absolutely all of my battery to try and keep Hazer behind, but as soon as he gets DRS, we're really going to be no match for him. We're trying to break the toe a little bit. We're on about 10% battery. It is looking really dim, and you can see just how much he's gaining, and he's absolutely flown by. And then we try and recharge a very little amount of ERS. We're looking like we're going to stay within the 10 seconds of Matthias, but we now going to get a run down into the final corner. We're going to use as much ERS as we can. He's covering the inside. We don't quite have enough pace, and we did choose the wrong option of going to the outside, and it's going to be a drag race to the line. But we were never going to win that race, which sucks. But it's just what's going to happen. I mean, it's lucky that Matthias got the 10 seconds, but realistically, we should have been up there anyway. It's just unfortunate that bad boy spun. We managed to pick up second though, which going on to the final lap was what I thought I'd get. That was the max I thought I could get there. My teammate drops down to P9 after having very good pace. Hayes also picks up the fastest lap, which gives him an extra point. But it ended up working out all right. First race back in over a month, because my PlayStation was broken. I didn't tell you, something blew up in my PlayStation, so I wasn't able to race. But first race in a month, we managed to finish P2, and we had the pace. If we had the DRS, we would have won that race. I'm very confident. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's very, very late. It's a month after the last one. But we are going to get some consistency going, I promise you this. So if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next week for Belgium in round 4. See ya.